Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today, we will be covering OpenAI putting personal finance with bank account access inside ChatGPT, Greg Brockman taking over product strategy at OpenAI to unify ChatGPT, Codex, and the API, xAI launching its first coding agent called Grok Build, and arXiv cracking down on AI-generated research slop with one-year author bans. Starting with OpenAI's biggest consumer move of the week, OpenAI rolled out a personal finance preview inside ChatGPT for pro users in the US, letting people connect their actual bank accounts, brokerage, credit cards, and bills, and then ask questions grounded in their own spending, portfolio, and goals. It runs on web and iOS, connects through Plaid, and supports over 12,000 financial institutions, with Intuit integration on the way. OpenAI says more than 200 million people already come to ChatGPT every month for budgeting and investment questions. So this is OpenAI trying to turn that casual use case into a real personal finance hub. There are clear guardrails. ChatGPT can't move money, pay bills, place trades, file taxes, or act as a fiduciary or registered investment advisor. OpenAI also says disconnected account data gets deleted from its systems within 30 days, and Plaid data tied to that connection follows the same window. Still, the user reaction online has been pretty skeptical. Tom's Guide highlighted one X post from Andrew Zender asking, quote, "What sane individual feels comfortable giving this level of access to OpenAI?" Others called it a real shift in how ChatGPT fits into daily life. The tension here is obvious. The pitch of asking your money questions in plain English is genuinely useful, but you're handing over an enormous amount of sensitive financial context to a chatbot, and the trust bar for that is much higher than for help drafting an email. Sticking with OpenAI, there was a notable internal shakeup. Co-founder and president Greg Brockman is taking over product strategy and combining ChatGPT, Codex, and the developer API into a single platform under one core product team. Brockman had already been overseeing products on an interim basis, while Fidji Simo, the CEO of AGI Deployment, is out on medical leave, and OpenAI confirmed Simo worked with Brockman on the changes. In an internal note, Brockman said the company is, quote, consolidating our product efforts to execute with maximum focus toward the agentic future. That phrasing matters. OpenAI is signaling it doesn't want ChatGPT, its coding agent, and its API to feel like three different businesses anymore. For everyday users, that likely means Codex showing up more natively inside ChatGPT. For developers, it means the API roadmap gets tied more tightly to the consumer product. And competitively, it lines OpenAI up directly against Anthropic, xAI, and Google, who are all racing to own the agent workspace. TechCrunch also framed this against OpenAI's earlier Code Red refocus on ChatGPT and its decision to pause some side bets, including Sora and OpenAI for Science. So this is less an org chart tweak and more a statement about what OpenAI thinks it's actually building. Next up, xAI made its first real push into the coding agent space with Grok Build Early Beta, a terminal-native coding CLI aimed at professional software engineers. It's initially available to Super Grok Heavy subscribers, which Europa Press reports runs $300 a month, so this is clearly targeted at serious developers, not casual users. The feature list reads like a direct shot at Claude Code and OpenAI's Codex. Grok Build supports plan, review, and approve workflows, clean diffs, parallel subagents, headless mode for scripts and bots, MCP servers, and what xAI calls agent client protocol support. xAI's launch pitch was, quote, your agents.md, plugins, hooks, skills, and MCP servers all work out of the box. Translation, they're not asking developers to learn a new workflow. They're slotting Grok into the conventions that have already become standard in agentic coding over the last year. Bloomberg framed this pretty bluntly as xAI playing catch-up to Anthropic in AI-assisted software development. The interesting question is whether Grok's reputation for raw model power translates into the kind of careful, repo-aware behavior that's made Claude Code such a developer favorite. Terminal coding agents live and die on whether they break your codebase, and that's a very different bar than chat performance. Finally, arXiv, the preprint server that basically every AI, computer science, math, and physics researcher uses to share work, is drawing a hard line on AI slop. The new policy, communicated by Thomas Dietrich, chair of arXiv's computer science section, imposes a one-year ban on authors whose submissions contain incontrovertible evidence they didn't check their LLM-generated content. We're talking hallucinated citations, fake references, or actual leftover model comments still sitting in the paper. After the ban, those authors have to get future work accepted by a reputable, peer-reviewed venue before arXiv will take it again. Dietrich's framing is sharp. He said the policy kicks in, quote, if a submission contains incontrovertible evidence that authors let the model do the work unchecked. The scale of the problem is real. Semaphore reported submissions to one journal jumped 42% since ChatGPT launched, while writing quality dropped. And arXiv had already banned all computer science review papers because of what it called an unmanageable influx of fakes. The policy doesn't ban AI assistants outright, and that's the key nuance. You can use the tools, you just have to actually read what they produce before you put your name on it. It's a clear statement from core scientific infrastructure that generative AI makes output cheap, but verification is now the thing that actually counts.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.